Alright, everyone, this is Menz here. We're going to be starting out tonight with the 110 Tier 8 Heavy Tank here. Only played maybe a handful of matches in it at most. One of the newer tanks I have here. Compared to the IS-3, since I played the IS-3 quite a bit, honestly, right now, I kind of like the 110 a little bit better. Granted, I've only played it a few times, but armor-wise, I like its frontal armor. It still has the weak lower glacis, but overall its upper glacis is pretty strong. But compared to the IS-3, you can actually rely on your armor somewhat. The sides definitely are weaker than the IS-3. They don't have spaced armor on it, whereas the IS-3 has that spaced armor, and hull armor actually goes in towards the center of the tank. Now, penetration wise, you're pretty good for your standard round. That's why I only carry a few APCR shells, a couple HE shells just in case I run into something I can't penetrate if I'm against a lot of tier 10s. Hello, Accidental. Nice to see you. Which I'll be streaming till right about 8 p.m. guys tonight, like usual. Last stream, of course, I streamed a little bit later. I wonder if I took a wild gamble and that did not work out. Here we go. Got a little lucky there, but I'll take it. It was just well worth me trying to hit that M12. Let's see if I can get to this KV3 all the way over here, since he's pretty far out there. He does have pretty good armor though. Okay, so this VK over here is... he's providing... holy shit, that... yeah, Panther 2 got nailed. I was about to say, we should go finish him off here. Let's see... and of course I bounced. This might prove to be a bad idea, but nonetheless, I'm gonna take it. Ooh, KV2. This is gonna hurt a little bit. Could have been a lot worse though. Let's get this guy down a little bit. Let's make him think twice before he keeps popping out to hit us here. Don't have a very good shot on him. Let's see if that KV2 fires, that will be awesome. But I have a feeling, yep, I got a shot on that TD back there. But of course, I bounced a little bit. Hello, Gigi. Hello, Gary. Once again, thank you, Gary, for the help. Definitely, I'm starting to work on looking at PC parts. Since I'd like the... oh crap, that was not a good move on my part. I'd like to get the ball rolling on... and I got taken out. That Romba, I kind of forgot about him. But hopefully my team bounces back here. I'm hoping to start the PC building process somewhat soon. Even though I don't know how many of you guys actually follow World of Warships, the next update that's coming out, they're actually basically repackaging the whole game and changing its whole file system. It goes from, I forget how many files, like 20,000 files or something, down to 5,000 or something even larger than 20,000. But essentially it's going to make the game run much smoother on machines, and that'll probably fix my problem of not being able to stream it and whatnot as well. So you might see me back in World of Warships a little bit more often than I am now. But here in the next couple weeks, I probably am gonna revisit my streaming schedule. I'd like to keep Wednesday and Saturday still, but I might add in at least one more day. I'm thinking of a third day. Yeah, I'm hoping tonight goes well. I'm a little exhausted, but I'm looking forward to playing some tanks though. Might be a little bit late with going down here, but nonetheless I can still probably just squeak through, even though I'm starting to get some bad pings here, or not pings, but I'm getting a little bit of lag or jitters or something. Oh, Mr. 112, are you gonna come up here? Alright, so these CDCs look like they're gonna work that STA down pretty well there. Ooh, we got a pretty good shot here. Not too worried about artillery. If I do get hit by an SPG, it's not going to take a whole lot of damage. Well, I can't yet. The patch has not come out yet, but hopefully very soon. I believe the patch will be coming out somewhat quickly. But yeah, I know most people like watching World of Tanks though, so I'm still going to be streaming 2 days a week for tanks. I'm not looking to change up that part. You missed. Alright guys, we need to get the ball rolling here. Oh god, sorry dude if I caused you any damage, but this is not a good spot for you. We're getting hit by quite a few people here. Alright, so I'm hoping to get a little bit of help from somebody, but nonetheless, really need, yep, that person to be spotted. He's the one plinking away. So 112. Oh god. 112's coming for me here. So I'm just gonna. God damn it. I'm gonna kill him here, but that didn't exactly work out. Alright, I do have a couple people still up here, but I'm looking to get over here. There we go. We should have these guys pretty easily here. It's just I'd rather move across here so I'm not taking any damage from any outside tanks. Here we go. Which, if there's any specific tanks you'd like to see me play, feel free to mention them. I'll gladly hop into them. If not, I'm going to be playing a few premiums and a few of my new tanks. But I'll gladly play any tanks if anybody would like to see them. Which I am excited. The heavy tank number 6 is getting a buff in the next patch. It's getting a slight penetration buff, which yeah, that SUGD definitely flipped himself over there. It's getting a buff to 112 that I basically just caused him to die. That's getting a buff. It's getting its fuel tank move further back into the tank, so it's not going to catch on fire anymore, being penetrated in that lower glacis. Let's see what else is getting a buff. The STA2's getting a pretty significant penetration buff. This is if everything stays the same. They're still testing it. It is going to lose a little bit of DPM, but its penetration is going to be pretty fantastic. doubt I'm going to get any other damage in. Part of the problem with Type 59. Don't get me wrong, it's a good tier 8 premium, but it's not as, I guess, legendary as some people make it out to be. Unfortunately, I don't have the Oni right now, accidental. I am working towards it. I just haven't exactly ground out that far. I can hop into... I do have the OI, but I should do my double since I am looking to finish my grind of the OI. I'm pretty close. I might be done experience-wise, but I don't think I am. Which I think everybody can agree. In the next patch too, the OI and OI experimental are getting hit pretty hard with the nerf bat. Even though they're not exactly fixing the problem of the high alpha guns, they're more or less just making it extremely uncomfortable to play. It's going to essentially, even though they're very inaccurate already and kind of frustrating to play at times, they're making it even more frustrating as far as accuracy, on move accuracy, aiming time, and whatnot on both tanks. And it's still going to be a good brawler tank, but it's definitely not going to be as good as it is now. Not that I don't like the OI too much. I prefer the KV2. It's much smaller, and I feel like the gun works on it. This tank, your hull definitely gets in the way of many things. Now that Tog 2, if I see him, I might just have to chuck some AP or a heat to it. That's nice. Yeah, the T-44 is definitely a great tank, especially once it's fully upgraded. Hello, Penny. Nice to see you again. It is going to be a little difficult pushing through here. They do have quite a few people in this area, and they can shoot down into here. So knowing that, I gotta kind of brace myself for some shots coming from that way. Which I am gonna load up AP round just in case I do start engaging them, but I just got whacked by a fellow OI. Yeah. Not good. I knew I was gonna get hit by these guys, but I was not counting on this massive beast. Not. Hello, Abdul. I'm a little angry at myself for that. I knew they were up there, but I still pushed a little bit too far for my own good. Alright, let's shake these first couple matches off. Why don't I flick over here, and where's that tank at? T-54E1. Yeah, I'm hoping maybe since I'm looking to add one more day as far as streaming, I might stream at a different time. It'll definitely have to depend on my work schedule, since outside of the time right now, I'm basically at work, unless I'm off. Yeah, it's like I knew I shouldn't have pushed up there, but I thought I could have squeaked by since they weren't aiming at me at first, and yeah, I was wrong. If that OI wasn't there, I would have been a lot better off, of course, but yeah. Alright, so going downhill, hopefully I'm going to be able to get where I want to be. I want to get down here behind this building so I have a little bit of artillery cover. Alright, Mr. E50N, I'm going to try to get out of your way. Thank you for the little nudge. But the T-54E2, or yeah, T-54E1, I thought. I was going to say E2. It's a good tank, but I find its mobility, especially as you see here climbing a hill, is a little bit lacking, to say the least. Gotta be careful now because I just got spotted. I don't have a good crew at all in this. No sixth sense or anything, so it's definitely a little difficult playing at tier 9, tier 10 without that. So I'm gonna make my own corner. Alright, yay. It's one of the problems of this tank, it gets ammo racked quite a bit. I knew I was going to get shot by one of those guys, but I was not expecting the T-54. I thought my E50M over there was in a decent position to spot him. So, now that I lost more than half of my HP, fantastic. No, not good, not good. Dude, no, no! What the hell are you doing? Dude. Thank you, E50M. You know, you have full HP and everything. Why don't you prevent me from getting behind any cover? Nice teammate there. I kind of like the T-54, but it's definitely a tank where I know why, like you say you don't like it, GG. I do find it a little too squishy and definitely a little sluggish. The autoloader's nice, but there's just something about the tank where it doesn't always work, just like that. But would have been nice if that E50M played a little bit like a good teammate. But, you know, nudging me out twice is definitely not the way to do that. The Leopard 1 medium line, it's pretty good. I haven't really went down it since I find it pretty similar to the American medium tank line, so I haven't pushed down it because it doesn't really offer anything new to me. I do review basically every tank line over on my website, wakuru.com. It's under articles. It's called Which Tank Line is Right for You. I pretty much go over every single standard tank in the game. But the Leopard 1 medium line's pretty good. It's just don't expect too much armor out of it. Alright. Yeah, I find the E1 works best in a position where I was going over there to kind of support. My teammate would say the E50M, pop out, take a shot, hopefully deflect it, and then I'd pop around, get 2, 3, or 4 shots off. It didn't exactly work because that guy was playing more like a tank with no armor whatsoever. But yeah, can't always expect that, unfortunately. Alright, so looks like we might actually get decent showing here. I was just kind of spotting at first because I wasn't confident that my team was going to push up, which I guess I kind of ditched a little bit too early. Unfortunately, I kind of missed my chance at the T-49 there. Here's a decent hit, but it can penetrate tier 10s. You just need loads of APCR. That's a pretty nice match there. But yeah, it's a good line. You just can't really go into it expecting too much armor there. Crap, I sat here too long. Spare me. I really don't want to be defending this side from a push in a T-49 with low HP, but I'm going to have to do that now. And unfortunately, we're going to have a pretty tough time at doing this unless we get a miracle. Alright. Nope. So I'd let these guys know that shit is about to hit the fan. I think I'm going to stick with the T-54 here. And I missed, and I got killed. I should have just went where my first, the first spot that popped in my head. I should have just went over there. Alright, so let's switch this up. I'm not doing too well in these tanks, so why don't I switch things up completely. A tier 4 tank, probably the best one that first comes to mind is the Matilda. That tank is pretty nasty at tier 4. But yeah, initially in the T-49, I actually, after I kind of spotted up there, saw that we were going to be outnumbered, I was going to kind of bail, use my speed to go over to the other side, and kind of dirt people into town to get that side rolling, but I kind of wrote that off, and unfortunately it did not help me out. Alright, so it looks like we have a decent amount of people on the hill. That's very good. I'm probably going to be heading over to the left here. Alright, never mind. Our hill... Ooh, they better hope that they get that bat chat out. He's pretty much loaded right now. I don't know why the bat chat's still running away. He should have... Yeah. Usually when I'm in a bat chat and I make it up there, just stop, take out your first tank, and that's your best chance to cause the other guys to kind of freeze and not go up on the hill to kill you. Alright, so I'm gonna hopefully get a big hit here on one of these tanks first with my first shot. I just lit an APCR since both of them have a decent amount of armor. Ooh, that's not good. Very, very not good. Most people don't know. I kind of lined up my shot based off of where his turret was, but I just aimed a little bit lower, shot through the fence, even though it doesn't show up on his silhouette. You can still damage him, of course, since AP and APCR will just break right through it. Since there's no artillery, I'm not too concerned about kind of being out here. This is basically, of course, got to worry about the ST1, WZ111, but as far as kind of sitting out, even though I guess saw a tree fall down over there. Alright, so he's taking pot shots. This WZ looked like he was pushing up to take a shot at me though. Maybe not. Maybe he is. And I missed, but I should be able to deflect him. Should. But he doesn't have the gun depression. Gotta love Chinese tanks at times. I'm actually gonna switch things up and use an HE shell here. Very nice job, T-54. Oh, god damn it. Why did I shoot it just then? Thank you, T-54, though. Hello, Hayden. Or Barker, I should say. Are you saying that I'm dead? Alright, so this prototype... Yeah, he's not moving back. I'm not too concerned about him. Might as well just blink him away. Yeah, unfortunately I haven't had too much time to pop on in between streams. Alright, so he's a goner. No, I missed that. Kind of mismanaged my turret there. But overall, decent mouse game. Didn't do a lot, but yeah, I'll take it. I'm at like 60% awakeness or whatever functionality right now. I've been up since 4 a.m. Since I had to get up for work. Alright, so Mastery Badge 3rd class. Just 1600 damage, deflect it, and assist it with a little bit over 900. Whew. Yeah, I'm sure that Bulldog would be happy if you killed him in one shot. I know I'm not too pleased if I'm in a light tank going across a map and come across a Chinese heavy tank. Hello, Jerry. Nice to see you again. Hello, Motar as well. Alright, so Bat Chat here. Ooh, it's actually not a good matchup for me just because you have two Bat Chats, E50M, STB1. So that kind of eliminates me pushing down here, at least in the beginning. Pushing up here, I'm still kind of going to be outnumbered just from their mediums compared to our mediums. Even though we have 3. I'm just kind of thinking of my options. Honestly, I'm probably going to set up here to begin with. See if I can't get a shot or 2 off in the beginning. And then I might actually pull all the way back and head down south. Just because from this side, you have that little ramp down here. I like using that a little bit further into the match. Yes, I do have the M4190. I can play that after this match if you'd like. Waiting for this sugar to kick in. Sorry about that. GG. Did I say Chinese heavy? I guess it would be a Japanese heavy. Oh, thank you so much, AMX CDC. How did you know I wanted to be shot there? He's gonna actually pull back to where I don't have a very good shot on him. But I can possibly, yep, get another little cheap shot off there. What affects your win rate 8 the most? That would be damage. Pretty much win rate 8 prioritizes damage over most other things. That's why it's not always the best metric to go off of. But It is a pretty good indicator, but definitely not perfect. Favorite Chinese heavy tank? I can hop back into the 110. It's either that or WZ-111 I have right now. Alright, so there's quite a few people over here. I'm just gonna do a small little retreat. This side really needs to get moving. Honestly though, with the lack of armor I have, I'm gonna go over here. Whew! Their JPZ killed that KV-4. Yeah, I'm actually gonna push across right here. Ah shit, that CDC is be a thorn in my side. But I should be semi-safe here. There's this Conway, of course. Ooh, give him credit. He made the right choice pulling back there. So I was looking to take him out, coming all the way across the map to do that. But, oh god, it's not going well over there. I thought my team would do pretty good over there, but it looks like they got a little bit too greedy. Alright, Mr. Conway. You're gone. Mr. T-34 somewhere over here. Where did you go? Ooh, I do see artillery though. That's not good. Who shot at me? T-34. I don't know if that JPZ is aiming at me, but he might be. Oh shit, this is starting to go south. Let's get these guys back towards their base. Definitely kind of outnumbered here now. Okay, I'm gonna get revenge on you. That would be nice. Oh shit. That would not be nice. Although it is nice to know, even though this Batchat, yep, he's looking to flank me. I was about to say, nice to know this T-34 is over here by himself. That engine hit is definitely a no bueno thing. Yep, this is not going well now. About to be flanked. I'm hoping I can squeak a little bit more damage out here, but yep, not looking like it. Because I'm either going to get killed from behind or I'm going to get rammed. Hell, I tried my best there. I could have stayed up in the north west there, but honestly, Batchat is not meant to brawl out with that many tanks. I probably would have just end up dying pretty quickly there. But who knows? Might have helped out. There's no way I was going to get that with a Batchat. If I had a different medium tank, honestly, I would have preferred that a little bit better. The problem I have with the Batchat, I am doing better with it. It's a decent tank if you play it correctly, but it just doesn't have that sustained firepower. Once you do your shot, or once you do your clip, you're useless for 40 seconds or whatever it is, 50 seconds, and yeah, you're pretty much dead weight. You have a little bit of HP, you can tank shots, but do you really want to do that in a Batchat? No. But it's just in cases like that, I kind of pulled back, and enemy took some ground in the northwest. My team got it back, but then they basically just pushed in and got flanked, it looked like. But really, the Batchat's a very good tank to where I was trying to go all the way back, which I did help take that convoy out, but I didn't inflict as much damage as I probably should have. Alright, so this is definitely going to be a slight challenge, since there's quite a few tier 9 and 10 mediums. Yeah, I can play the mouse after this match. I have a Chinese heavy, and then I'll hop into the mouse again. Ooh, I missed this shot here. That was potentially a pretty big play for me since I had HE loaded. Wish I had, honestly. Ooh, sit there, please. Or I guess you're allowed to sit there, but I'd prefer if you didn't. At T22 mediums there, of course. That thing, even with heat, will have a pretty hard time penetrating that. Yep, there's that little sliver, and I don't think he knows about that. Just missing all these little opportunities I have. There we go, and hey, it missed. It went a little high. Doesn't help that my lag indicator is kind of going on and off. That's a little bit annoying. It's not really affecting my movement too much, but I can still feel it a little bit. That was nice, whoever got that second shot off on me there. Alright, so looks like my mediums are running away. Holy shit, M41. Our M41 just, of course, pushed straight into it. Like, are you really wanting to do that? Like, I don't think you want to do that. It's a pretty big hit, but... oh, that looked like it was close. Try to help over here a little bit. I can't go up against a T-22. He'll just squash me like the light tank I am. At least over here I can potentially help with tracking this E-100 and keeping him there. And doing a little bit of damage. You know, 7 HP out of 2700, not too bad. Okay. Yeah. Oh well. I don't know why that guy's being such a Debbie Downer. Like, we have not lost yet. We're on our way to lose, but we are definitely still in the running. It's just that T-22 medium. Like, thing's basically a freaking heavy tank. It's like, yes, it's getting nerfed, but it's just, there's no way I can damage it. I can damage it with HE, but even with heat, I can't penetrate its side armor. The really only chance I have is with its rear armor, and at that point I would have been killed. Yeah, hello, Mr. Tank. Yeah, I can't damage you. You can pretty much do whatever you want with me. Yeah, at least I got a little bit more damage off, but yeah. Some matches, the M41, I like it because I like light tanks. Being the only tier 8 premium light, it's a pretty fun tank to play, but seeing 10s a lot, which not a bad match in the bat chat, but still a loss is a loss. Alright, so heavy tank, Chinese heavy, and then after this I'll play the mouse. It's like the M41, definitely not a bad tier 8 premium, but it's just facing 10s with a premium tank, and especially a premium light. Its gun is still capable, but when you get thrown on maps like whatever, Winterberg there, where you're against 10s, and especially like a T-22 medium, you pretty much have no hope. If I went to the town, yeah, same thing there. It's just something where, unfortunately, a lot of the maps are closer up. So, if you're going for your first premium or something, probably stay clear of it. You're definitely better off with a more, say, traditional heavy tank or medium, to where you do kind of stand a chance. Whereas in a light tank, you're more at the whim of matchmaker. Alright, so into 110 here. After this, I will play the mouse. If there's any other requests, I'll gladly take them. Alright, just kind of taking a look. At least we have a decent chunk of people down there. I'm going to try to push. I usually shoot for right around A2 in the bottom right hand corner. You get decent shots off there. You can flank here. You can pull back, get supported. You can pull back in even here. Further, if you're completely outnumbered, quite a few different options that go in from A2. This definitely isn't the best tank to do it, because your frontal armor is meant to be pointed directly at people, and not exactly the best spot for that, but nonetheless, I think it'll be my best chance at doing something in the town. Holy crap, we have a Tiger 2 in D4. That is pretty bold. Their Yaga Tiger went up here. I did not expect that, to be honest. I expected him to head south for whatever reason. Alright, so he's gonna pop out here. I should get one free shot at him. Ooh, I was a little bit lucky there. I just barely dodged that. So I'm gonna rethink my plan here. He's kind of limited in what he can do. Thanks for destroying all the cover. Not that there's SPGs, but let's just flank the shit out of this guy. T-34, I don't know what you're planning, but I am planning greatness. I'm probably gonna regret saying that. This is why you do not push out in a non-turreted tank destroyer this far away from your team. Bet you that guy feels a little stupid. Andreas, unfortunately I don't have a T-71. I can play a lot of other American light tanks, or the T-54E1 after it, but unfortunately I didn't push up that American line. Probably my closest tank to the T-71 would be the Walker Bulldog. So we got a T-10 over here. gonna start working on him. He's kind of the most dangerous tank over here. Yep, I can hop into the FCM50T. Alright, this guy looks like he's gonna take a gamble. And of course I aimed a little bit too low there. He got off lucky there. Let's do super version. Shit, I missed that shot. He's gonna pull back up though. Yep, I can play the Chaffee as well. Alright, so we're actually... Ooh, I need to get the ball rolling here. I didn't notice our entire... Unfortunately, I don't have the LTTB. Let's say I'm very surprised that the South lost. Come on, there we go. This is not good. Time for APCR. Not that I think I'll make it back to the base, but it's really our only hope. Come on, dude. Directly to cap. Yeah, this is gonna be extremely... Yep, we lost. I took my eyes off the mini-map a little bit too long, and honestly, yeah. I don't know how they lost that, but I guess it's not the most shocking thing I've ever seen. Anyway, 2,400 damage, not too bad, but yeah, still lost. Alright, so otherwise, yeah, we definitely lost Winterberg. Alright, so after this, I had the mouse lined up. Yes, you are. Yeah, unfortunately, still working on kind of fleshing out the lines that people request. I am grinding quite a few, like the T-54E1 and the 110 now. So since I don't exactly have those grinds nearly close to acquiring the next tank, I will be able to purchase a few tanks, hopefully soon, to get a few tanks that people would like me to play. Yeah, I'll play the mouse here, after that FCM, then the Chaffee, and probably the Bulldog after that. How to play the FCM effectively. First, forget that it's a heavy tank. Play it like a medium. Mainly the way I go into it is if I'm the top tier, usually starting out, I will kind of position myself behind like the main blob most of the time, or basically a tank that I know can take a couple shots. That way you're not basically taking damage, hopefully. Use your gun to kind of support your team, and then later on, since you are a heavier tank, sometimes you can ram people, but you have a decent amount of HP to kind of play like a heavy. If you're facing off against a lot of higher tier tanks, then play essentially like a medium tank. Don't try to tank shots at all. But FCM is a very hard tank to play. Like, I don't play it too often because of that. It can be a fun tank, but it's one of those high and low tanks where it's really dependent on your team and also the map and also the enemy. It's just one of those tanks where it's good, but pretty much, it's a French tank, no armor, very weak as far as it does take quite a few hits to the ammo rack, so having safe stowage definitely helps out in the FCM. Now there is no artillery, but this is going to be a little difficult for me to get out from around this corner. Unfortunately, I'm in the mouse and not really able to get here any quicker. Ooh, hello, Mr. T-54. Goodbye, Mr. T-54. Shit, they're T-30. Did not want any tanks making it over here. It kind of ruins my angling scheme I had going. But I guess I can tuck a little bit further behind this little outcrop here. It'll still work. Take a few shots for my team. Hopefully I can get these guys to waste their premium rounds on me. So far so good. Only so many hits you can take in this thing now, even though you have a crap ton amount of armor. They are going to penetrate you eventually. Like that. That M60. I'm throwing APCR at him because this is a pretty important moment for my team here. He just kind of nailed me by killing my gunner. He went through my turret. The gun on the Bulldog, I prefer the non-autoloader gun. I don't really like the autoloader and being taken out of the battle for that long. Let's see if I can catch. Here we go. Thank you, E5. Granted, I wanted to track you there. Come on, guys. You're kind of pulling. You're pulling a little too far back from me here. Shit. Didn't want to take that shot because, yeah. Now I'm getting a little bit too much damage here. I need to retreat because everyone is just freaking raping. I'm a little over angled right now, but they are taking well advantage of my weak spots. Yeah, things come crumbling down on El Haluf very quickly. I'm going to lose quite a bit of credits because I am using APCR, to say the least, very liberally here. I probably should kind of cut it out since we've kind of lost. Yeah, even with the turret angled quite a bit, I'm going to die here. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the FCM, sometimes it's just out of your hands. Like, there's nothing that you really can do with it. You get slated as the top tier tank a lot, since it does have preferential matchmaking, but sometimes you're just put in a match where you can't tank shots for your team, and it really hurts your team a lot, but there's nothing you can do about it, since you're a heavy tank with virtually no heavy tank traits. But yeah, in this match here, there wasn't much else I could have done. I was trying my best, and I basically threw my wallet at the match with APCR to try to do something. But really, yeah, not too much I could have done else there. But let's see. Let's change this up a little bit. Hopefully, it's like I kind of mentioned, I'm feeling a little bit of little stutter lag. That's why I hopped into a couple slower tanks, because it wasn't affecting me as far as my movement, but it was kind of annoying. Yeah, we kind of lost. I kind of say that. Like, I had a decent match, but really, there was no other place I could have went on the mouse other than that one spot. And unfortunately, by the time I got there, I couldn't push out any further than what I did. I could have hung back further, but that wouldn't have done anything as well. Alright, so FCM here, I'm gonna... Let's see. It really depends on where their top 3 tanks head. Usually with tanks with less armor, decent gun depression, I do better over on this side of the map. We'll see how this works though. There is no artillery, which definitely helps me out. But let's see what this AMX 1390 spots first. Okay. Mr. T-32. Come on, there we go. Would like someone else spotting, but I'll take it though. Knew he was gonna shoot at me, so I had to kind of duck that shot. Of course, the T-30 is over here. I do carry quite a bit of APCR in this tank. It's mainly for times where I don't feel like I have a second or two to load, or not load, to aim in. With this T-30 moving up, I'm definitely going to want to reposition a little bit. Seeing as he's over there, I might be able to, although it would have been nice to get another hit on that T-30. But yeah, seeing as tier 9, tier 9, tier 9, I might try to slip in here. Otherwise, my other spot would be over there. Alright, Mr. Indian Panzer. Holy shit, he bounced. That very, very lucky. I should be able to slip in here. I don't think that T-30... Centurion is, but the T-30 is not high enough to hit me. Just wanted to slip in up here. Okay, Mr. M41, you're starting to annoy me. Luckily, he's not the M41, because M41's HE I would be a little bit concerned about. Alright, so if I play this right, it should be... would have been nice. Take out that T-32 with that shot, but nonetheless, got him there. Yep, I can hop into the E100 in a little bit. I'm just finishing up this match and then Chaffee. Then I can hop into the E100. I don't think anyone else had any. Whoops. Yeah, I'm a hacker. Which I am surprised it bounced quite a few times, but sometimes it does pay to over angle in this tank. You do have I believe it's 120 millimeters thick on the upper glacis, so if you do heavily angle it, you can get quite a few bounces off of it, but that's only if people, of course, completely screw up and shoot at that part. Nice shot. Oh god, not good. I'm dead. That went south very quickly. Screw you, M41. I probably should have kept rolling, but I thought I was gonna inch him out there. So that one, but that's just the FCM. Things go south very quickly in this tank because pretty much outside of those bounces I got, which I was very lucky, every single shot is going to deal damage to you. Alright, so I guess take a peek at this mouse match. See how much credits I lost. 1,800 damage. But, yeah, I lost a shit ton. Did block 5,200 damage. Alright, so let's play the Chaffee. My poor little Chaffee has a pretty bad crew in it. I'm actually very depressed that I don't have a good crew in the Chaffee anymore since it's in the M49. But after the Chaffee here, I will definitely... or no. After that was the Bulldog and then the E100. Yeah, I was going to play the Bulldog for Andreas, and then after that, Sebastian, I'll get to the E100 for you. Alright now, Assault. Actually, I like being a defense on this map and a scout tank, but I'll take it. I just find this attack, it's a little bit more difficult, but we'll see. Ah, shit, I did not want to hit that tree. Mr. AMX is probably going to beat me to spotting. Holy shit, our SPGs are going very, very, very far south. Yep, Gary, I will gladly add the T-29 onto the list. So seeing that, I might honestly head south, only because if we lose the south, then we're pretty screwed. But we'll see. Nobody pushed down here, so I'm actually gonna not exactly take a gamble, but didn't exactly see too many people down here. Nobody pushed up here, so I'm just gonna start pushing. Scout some people. At least I do have 6th Sense on this, so I'm not exactly pushing blindly here. Hi, Challenger. Ooh, your turret definitely does not move quick. I thought it did for a second. I was like, shit, I'm about to regret this. Let's see if I can get him to waste a shot. Nope. Yep, KV2 after that. I will hop into that as well. Hopefully I can remember all these tanks. Do my best. Yeah, shit, I don't want him coming after me. Oh lord, I got fudged. Run away, and no. But I'll give that guy credit. He stopped me, but thanks a lot, guys. You know, you did just sitting there. You know, just all sit up on that one little ledge. But yeah, it's all my fault the TD pushed into me. You gotta love people sometimes. Alright, so let's move on. Hey, we did win the FCM match. Looks like a pretty decent Mastery Badge First Class. A little over 3,000 damage, I'll take that. This tank is getting nerfed next patch as well. I can't wait for that. It's not completely overpowered, but for a tier 8 light tank, it is touched too much armor for its stats right now. I don't know how many times I've bounced off of one where my shell just went where I wasn't exactly meaning it to. And yeah, it definitely needs a little nerf. Thanks, Doug. Hopefully you enjoy it tomorrow morning. Yeah, there wasn't much I could have done there unless he missed me and I could have got behind him, but yeah. I wasn't expecting him to push, but at the same time my team should have just continued to push with me, but they were all just sitting up on that little ledge. But hey, I'm in the same match, in the same spawn spot, in a light tank. I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm a sucker for... Not that... Granted, I guess died pretty quickly, but... Honestly, doing what I did, that's probably going to set my team up to win. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, I died early, and it sucks, but as long as if we win, I'm happy. Now, I have a feeling that there's at least going to be, yep, one tank there. Now, this tank I do not have a very good crew in. Oh, fantastic. T-71. That's exactly what I wanted to see. There goes most of my HP, and give him credit though, he damaged my turret, and that really screwed up my aiming there. And now he's reloaded, and I'm gonna die. Yep, I'm pretty much dead here. Or not. Maybe he finally ran out of shells. I am gonna scoot out of here before... Well, hopefully I don't get shot, but... 13 HP, I'll take it. But, yeah. It's not a drive off of the cliff there. Well, you can't expect tactics from random people, but I expect a few people to have common sense. But, oh shit, there's a frickin' firefly. Are you kidding me? Thank you, Rock. You're my favorite rock in this match right now. Or in this match. Alright, so I don't have too much wiggle room here. Alright, shit, he's taking a slightly more southern approach than what I was expecting. I was expecting him to try to flank them a little bit. So yeah, he's definitely gonna catch me here. Ooh, thank you. Thank you for not ramming me either, T-34. I knew we were both kind of going at each other there, but that was cutting a little bit too close. But thank you very much. So, it's the AMX-12T. Ooh, there's a different one over there. So I'd say that's nice that he moved all the way over there. Yeah, it definitely doesn't help that I don't have Sixth Sense, but yeah. I'm getting a little bit lucky there, but I will take that assist. Looks like this IS-2 got hung out to dry here. Finally, our T-34 would push up to help out a little bit. Just playing a little cautiously here, since someone breathing on me could kill me. But this is not... starting not to go well. T-71 went all the way on the other side, so I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do it. Try to help out my T-34 here. Oh shit, there's an Uni. But he's not aimed in. So I got a second or two here. He's still moving, so I'm good. There we go. That guy is probably not happy at his team for not protecting his butt. Alright, let's see. Thank you. It was definitely a risk pushing here, but I think it was well worth it. Please don't run into me. Whoo! Nice shot, GW Panther. Alright, let's see if I can avoid running into something pointing my way. Just gotta be a little careful since I don't have Sixth Sense. There we go. Since everything can see me right now, I was definitely spotted by the ARL. Do. Whoa there. God damn it. I was trying to wedge my way behind a rock, but hell, if we lose this match, then shame on them. I think I did very well for having 13 HP for most of the match. Hey, we did win the M24 match, so that turned out alright. Mastery Badge 3rd class. Okay, for whatever reason, I have no idea why that occurred. A little weird. I don't know why it says I got purchased that. It's probably something special, but didn't really do much damage. Didn't really spot for much, but I made a little bit of credits. Alright, so let's see. E100 was after this. Just trying to keep requests in line. After the E100, I had the T29 and the KB2. But yeah, I was actually reading someone's forum post. I forget their name or else I'd give them credit. But they're kind of going over how basically, I don't know what it's called, but essentially even, like, it kind of makes sense. A tank with 1 HP is still, it's not worth as much as a tank with full HP, but it can still do the same amount of damage, as long as if its modules aren't damaged, of course, but still, if you have a couple HP or you're one-shottable, just kind of pull back a little bit and do your best just to try to stay alive and use your gun. That's what I was trying to do there, and take calculated risks. It's like it definitely helps in light tanks, because if someone's not pointing at you, typically you can get at least 1 or 2 shots off kind of safely. But in heavier tanks, it's kind of harder if you're low HP to kind of pull back and basically not be obliterated because you don't have the camouflage. But basically, some people, when I see a lot, they have low HP, they're just kind of like, oh, screw this. They're 2 minutes in the match, I give up. They go out, kill themselves. Like, that doesn't help your team out very much. Of course, you're going to be frustrated. I get frustrated when I lose that much HP early on, but you still got to think, what is your best case scenario in that point? Alrighty now. Let's say that guy's a little too high up there. He's going to get flanked. Hello, Dave. Most of their tanks moved over a little bit, which I'm actually going to miss on that IS-3. I'm just contemplating. Most of their tanks are kind of wedging, or not wedging, but moving themselves over more to that side. Let's just annoy that guy. It's a decent tank, but its cupola is its main drawback, of course. Right, you're not good. Yeah. I was about to say, you've kind of took my spot. Like, I'd very much like to pop out and finish somebody off, but I guess I'm just going to go like this. I don't like driving behind people like this, but you've left me no choice. So we have quite a few low HP tanks. They're mainly focusing on our side. The other side doesn't look like they're going to push too hard. But Let's take out this IS-3. I do have a T-54 Abdul. I can play that. I'm actually not grinding it, but I still am unlocking XP to do the 140 eventually. Alright. Sorry, Tortoise. Alright, guys, are you actually gonna push? It's like I don't need heat here, but I gotta load it. Mr. T-54. I'm gonna try to ram you to death. That didn't work out. No! There we go. Oh well. Unfortunately, I don't have War Thunder installed. I played it every now and then, but I didn't particularly like the tank side of War Thunder. It just didn't really feel right for me. I know they went kind of realistic, but it's definitely a, I don't know, kind of a money grab game more so than, say, World of Tanks, but the air side of it was fun. I'm just not too much into planes compared to tanks and ships. But pretty much right now I just play World of Tanks. I'm going to be adding World of Warships back once the next patch comes out, since that'll fix my issues I have with streaming with it. No! Thank you for loading HE. As I wait 30 seconds to load my gun now. Surprised that guy had HE for somebody who knows that he should cover his lower glacis like that. I'm not starting my reload again. There we go. Make it a little bit more damage. Just waiting for that E3 to pass. There we go. I'll take that. Definitely an expensive match, but E100 heat is kind of required. As long as if you hit most of your shots, you're not going to completely break your bank account. Alright, at least I got something done there. Mastery Badge First Class. I got a Steel Wall Award. I'll gladly take that. Almost 4,000 damage, a little over 1,000 base experience, and block 2,800. But definitely lost some credits because I used some heat on some low HP tanks, but yeah, it happens. Alright, so T29 was up next. Here we go. Let's get my crew back in here. I have my one experienced crew member, and then everybody else not so much. Yeah, pretty much low HP tanks, same as, pretty much you got to treat them equally. It's like, that's why going around the E100 there, I was just focusing on the low HP ones. Take them out, you take their damage out, whereas some teams, they'll take the first available shot. Like, if you damage basically 7 enemies down to like 100 HP, and there's only 5 of you, they still have a pretty good chance of killing you in the long run, because you're losing HP too. You just gotta whittle people down. Alright, so, tier 9 match. Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to go to the valley. I don't think I've ever gone there on encounter, and yeah, I'm not going to start that now. Might end up regretting that, but I think we have a decent showing over there. At least we have 2 IS-6s. And I hit a wall. Alright, so after the T-29, oh god, Conqueror. After the T-29, I'm going to be playing the KV-2. Move, guys. M53, why are you sitting out there? Yeah, it's like I carry quite a bit of AP in it because sometimes I do remind myself you don't need it for mediums and especially light tanks. It's actually worse having the heat round for a lot of cases. But, yeah, pretty much heat is the way to go. That's nice. Yeah, you're on the EU server, right? You guys have your discount going now. I was about to say, I wish our 15% discount was still going, or else, or because I'd still be grinding out credits with almost all my matches to try to get another tank or two. But yeah, IS-7, it's definitely a difficult tank to play now. I really liked it up until probably this year. I guess find a lot of matches now with the amount of premium rounds. Maybe it's just on the North American server, but I guess find its armor doesn't really hold up too well right now. Alright. Don't need a APCR round on that because I'm just gonna miss anyway. I can play an SPG, Sebastian. I just usually only play SPGs if people request it. I don't mind playing SPGs, I guess. You know that some people don't like seeing them. Which, crap, I'm gonna get pushed on now on this E75s. Being a... Oh shit, this tank. Freaking hate these things. Let's say this E75 is not helping me out too much, so I'm just going to have to cut and run here. Yes, I'm going to lose HP, but I got to do it to stay alive, hopefully. No, I got a little lucky there. But yeah, I was not expecting that to turn south like that. Oh, Southeast Asia. Oh. Yep, I know what you're talking about there. Yep, I'm gonna die. At least I got a little bit of damage off here. Alright, so I definitely didn't play that to the best of my extent. But, oh well. Doesn't help that, oh look, it's run away from the blob of enemies. That helps. Alright, so after this tank, KV-2, and then after that, I'll play the T-54. Yes, I do have the French Premium already. I can play the LEFH, and then I'll play the FE304. Don't think that's anyone watching. If it is, I apologize. So KV-2. Alright, just trying to keep the ball rolling here. Only 40 minutes left, and since I am a little bit tired, trying to keep things one after another. That way I don't lose my limited focus I have right now. Next stream Wednesday, I'll definitely be a little bit more energetic. Essentially Saturdays here. It's the best time for me to stream since my girlfriend works at night and I work mornings. But yeah, I get up at 4. I get up at 4 and I get home at about 3:30, and today was the first day I started counting my steps and distance. I walked, I think about basically 10 and a half miles today. Unfortunately, I don't have the T-44 anymore. I will be playing the T-54 after this, though. But unfortunately, the T-44, back when I pushed through it, I didn't have a ton of credits. I was in a clan, getting tier 10s for clan wars. Back then, it was just tier 10 clan wars, so I was just basically pushing through and selling tanks to get as many tier 10s as I possibly could. Definitely have to respect the togs here. Might have to Load an AP round or two. Just trying to see if I can get a big hit on somebody here in the beginning, but doesn't look like got any takers. It'd be nice if that OI kept pushing with me though. Hey, come on guys, they honestly might not be up here. Their top tanks are not heavy tanks. I might regret this. I know I'm gonna take a shot. Fortunately he missed though. Sorry dude. Yeah, long walk in a 100-degree kitchen on solid concrete floors. Yeah, it's not even busy right now, so in the summer I'm a little terrified how far I walk in the summer. Ooh, a T-67. I love killing these things. I just really hate playing against them. Granted, I am pushing out here a little farther than I'm comfortable with the KV-2. Hello, Mr. Sherman 3. Although, let's get rid of him. He's got somebody back here. Yep. I've got to roll the dice here and try to change my course. Start shooting somebody else. Whoever they are, I was still in their view range. Oh, maybe it's that little bugger spotting me there. Holy crap, no one's shooting. Like, I'll kill him. Like, okay. How hot does it get in the summer? Crap, I died. That wasn't your fault. I just got distracted by that FV. In the summer, basically where I live, the hottest it gets outside is probably low hundreds. Typically, because I'm surrounded by water, since I live in South Jersey, hottest days we get are in the 90s. But in the kitchen, it depends. Like, I do work in a pretty big kitchen, one of the bigger ones in my town, but that was a pretty crappy match in the T29. So let's just get the T54 going, if I can find it. Basically, it depends. Like, cooking breakfast and lunch and working behind the line, which typically I do most days unless I'm managing parties and whatnot. It gets to be about 120 to 130 where you cook over, because you're basically working over 3 or 4 open flames and about like a 6 to 8 foot long flat top. That's about 400 degrees, so it gets pretty freaking hot behind the line. But basically you're wedged between that and then the other side of you, basically so you can turn around back and forth. You have a steam table that, like it sounds, there's steam coming out of it. And then on top of that you have ovens and heat lamps, and it's pretty fun. Needless to say, I lose about because I work 9 months out of the year since I'm in a seasonal town. I lose about 20 pounds throughout my work season. And it's not like I exactly get fat in the off season. I get normal weight. All right, so yeah, we don't have a lot of people heading over here. Yeah, pretty much every kitchen. Like, I'm actually lucky because my kitchen that I work with or work in is not bad. Like, I'm making it sound bad, but most kitchens are a lot worse than that. At least in our kitchen, you can kind of step away from the line and it drops down to like 80 degrees. If you ask the people I work with, they would compare me to Gordon Ramsay. but if you're a chef, you have to kind of be not an asshole, but you can't let people give you shit, so. But I think a lot of people get the wrong impression of chefs. Like, you might sound like a dick, but you can't basically give out free shit. You can't let people bend the rules too much, or else that's not how kitchens work. It's like, think about cooking at home and then think about cooking for 200-300 people in a couple hours. If you change too many things, then things are just gonna fall apart for you. This is gonna turn bad. No, no, I hate you, Bat Chat. But yeah, that's what happens when your heavy tanks are sitting back there. You have a tank doing nothing. Granted, they did well in the field. I'll give them credit, but yeah. I definitely went to the town knowing that I'm not exactly playing my tank correctly. I would have been better off sticking to the field, but even so, I was a little... Holy crap, we lost Westfield. Yeah, I kind of feel bad. I moved in Westfield. I moved a little bit towards the middle of the map where they could hit me, and that was my biggest downfall, though. Yep. Oh, well. Alright, I need to start focusing a little bit more. Alright, so after this, I was going to play artillery. So let's get the ball rolling on that. Ooh, not exactly... Yeah. But yeah, as far as teams go, like random battles, playing solo, you get used to it. Like, if you... I don't know, if you let it annoy you too much, then it'll drive you crazy. One cool thing, though, is... Actually, I forgot about that. I'll plug it in after this battle here in one of my tabs. That way I don't forget about it this time. But, one thing that's nice that's going to come in the next patch, it looks like, is platooning. Depending on your tier, you're going to get a experience boost for platooning with people. So, it'll be a nice little addition for people who like to play together. So, honestly, I want to stay over here, but I'm a little terrified that I'm not going to get enough support. I'm just starting out with a heat round to see if I can get lucky and smack some unfortunate fool. It's really the main reason to play this tank, right? But I guess I could actually aim over here as well. Okay, KV-1S. I guess my heat round is pretty bad. Pretty bad choice. Alright, so it looks like that side's not going well because our TOG 2s are in the 4 line for some reason. Probably should have shot my heat round at the Skoda. Alright, I'd very much like to track him. Alright, at least our team's doing a little bit better now. I'll start focusing on these guys in the train tracks because they pose the greatest threat to me right now if somehow they break through. Okay. Wolverine did not move. I will gladly take his HP if he sits here a little bit longer. No, he's... Yeah. I was fearful of that. Shit, that was a bad shot. I should have figured he'd move behind buildings there. Okay, Hellcat, what are you doing? I'll take that though. Holy crap, I pretty much lost everybody in front of me. He's got no HP, so heat is very risky. Ooh, never mind. He just got taken out. Alright, Torin 3, it's you and me here. Let's see. I want to get myself in a position where he doesn't surprise me too quick, so I'm going to use these walls here. Seeing if he's destroying anything. Nope, he ran away. That's lame. Oh well. I was hoping to get a little shot there, but... Alright, mister. Holy crap, he's all the way over here. I really don't need a heat shell for this, but if I aim all the way in and he's still not dead, what the hell? Oh, that was such a waste of credits, the heat shell, and track him. Thank you, Abdul. Alright, so after this, I was going to play the FV304. After that, if there's any tanks anyone would like me to play, feel free to mention them. Alright, so Master Badge Sir class. Not really much. I'm surprised that even got a Mastery Badge with that amount of damage there. Alright, so FV304. Actually remembered to put in D's games into my tab there. Or Des games. Alright, so this is assault. This complicates a little bit. I just would like to get somewhere either down here. I might end up over here, just so I have better angles on everybody. That requires my team to actually hold that side, which, looking at my tanks, I'm not too confident they're actually going to be able to do that. So I'm going to start out in the center. Not exactly the best shots from here, but I'm not too confident where my team is going to be strongest yet. Yep, I can play the Lorraine 40T. I figured you'd request something like that. Alright, let's see. These guys are fighting pretty well there. Looks like my... Ooh, I'm heading north. It's just the safest bet right now. Yep, I'll play my favorite tank, the E3 at some point. Probably should have just went up here in the beginning, but... Alright, please don't shoot me. I was being a little too cautious. Alright, here we go. Let's see how we can get the ball rolling here. Ooh, this guy's in a little bit of a pickle. Stay right there, I can hit him. Just... don't let him push you back. Shoot him! What are you doing? about that Hellcat. And that definitely missed. Shit. It's not good at all. Alright, I need to actually focus on tanks here. I got a little sidetracked with shooting artillery, which is not a good thing. Yep, favorite tank is the T110E3. I'm gonna gladly get to that. Alright, now unfortunately things are going south. This tank, the FV, I do like it, but unfortunately hitting moving targets is not the easiest thing in the world for this tank. Alright, I need to move a little bit back here to be able to hit this M6. But yeah, I actually like being in higher tier matches in this because things are a little bit slower. Okay, he's going to get flanked here. Or they're going to come for me. I have a feeling they're going to go for the top. Oh shit, never mind. He's dead. Alright, so that didn't work out. Shit. And I'm dead. That was such a bad match, but I don't know. The FE304 I think is a pretty good arty. It's matches like that, there's too many different little places I could have shot at any one point. I kind of confused myself. That match was a pretty bad one. Yeah, it's like I think all arties should kind of be like an FE304. They'd be a lot more balanced, and I don't think people would really complain too much about them. Alright, so Lorraine. But yeah, you are right. It is very dependent on your team. But to me, arty support vehicle, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Kind of shorten the range of all artillery and let them be like that. But I just find the FV, because it has that limited left and right movement on its gun, and once you do reset and aim in, since you are kind of a middle tier, tanks are a little quicker, and your shell velocity is so slow even for the ranges that you're shooting at, it's very difficult to actually hit most tanks outside of heavier tanks around your tier. That's why I like being put in a match with things like tier 8s. That way, a little bit easier to hit them, and even though you're not doing a lot of damage per shot, you're doing module damage and damage over time, which basically sounds like a lot of things that people want to see out of artillery. But in the same tier, it doesn't exactly work out the best at times. But I'll chalk that up to being kind of my fault. I positioned in the wrong spot, especially in the beginning. Okay, I'm gonna hit the brakes here. Try to hit this guy though. T110E5, don't push out there. You are very much going to regret that. No, we're not. There's not that many people out there. Maybe I will push out with him. I was just expecting there to be about 2 more tanks there than what there actually are. Hey, that's a problem. Credits are always the kind of constraint in World of Tanks. Oops. God, somebody zipped on by me. Still had 2 shells in the container, but I don't think I'm going to get a chance to push out there safely. Just kind of pull back into the... shit. This T-57 I could have hit though. think. Just barely. So it's about to say, I'm going to slink back here and try to... That object's pushing down there. That's kind of where I want to go. But this T-57, I very much would like to shoot him. Just kind of waiting to see if I get loaded in time, but nope, somebody else got him there. Alright, never mind. I got this tank, Type 61. If I can actually hit him, I'll penetrate him. That's what I hate about the Type 61. Okay, Mr. T-54 lightweight. Prepare yourself. Maybe not. There you go. Now prepare yourself. I wanted to ram him, but I guess that worked out in the end. I didn't take any extra damage. Alright, so they have quite a few people in the town, which I see a lot of teams do that, but honestly, I don't think it's that good of a tactic. Like, you can flank the people over there, which it's going to work for them, but you really expose yourself, and I don't think this is going to work out for the enemy. It might, though. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take a shot from him. I'm going to take 2 shots that I should have. But... yeah, shit. Alright. That's not good. Just trying to get something on this IS-7, but I'm kind of forcing... There we go. I got 1 shot. But at this point, I'd like the cap, but well, I have to reload before I push. Unfortunately, I don't have the M56 Scorpion Russian. I'd like to, but unfortunately, I'm not made of gold. I was afraid where this Borsig is. I'm not gonna like. Ooh, or this object. Shit. Yay. I thought I pulled back a little far enough for that. But, yeah, he whacked me. And I did a shit ton of damage. Oh well. I got a little too careless there. And Lorraine, unfortunately, is gigantic and has worse armor than the FCM50T. Unfortunately, we lost that. Not doing too well here. So why don't we hop into the T110E3 and see if we can't write this. About 15 minutes left here. But yeah, unfortunately, I'd love to have all the premium tanks in the world, but I don't have a press account. And yeah, Wargaming hates me. Even though I've been doing Wakuru.com and videos for the amount of time I have, unfortunately the North American server, press accounts are pretty limited unless you are very active in clan wars and or esports, and I'm in neither. So there's that. Alright, so only 1 artillery. I'm going to keep an eye on where those 3 heavy tanks go. Yep, I can play the T-20 after this. Depending on how long these 2 take, might be my last 2 matches of tonight. Hopefully they end up being better than my last several matches, but at this point, I'm not too optimistic. Alright, so that's what I thought. 3 heavy tanks would go that way. I'm going to head over this way. I do have... do I have this thing? I think I might have sold the Tier 8 Centurion out of rage. I hated that tank. But if I have it, I'll see if I have a crew for it. I know the Centurion MK7, I do have it, but I use my crew to put in the Centurion Action X. If I have time, I will hop into the T92 after this and the T20. We'll have to see though. Alright, that guy's a little negative in chat, but whatever. But yeah, we'll have to see. If it's a little bit past 8 when I start, we'll see. I just had to get up at a 4 again tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to actually eating dinner after this and having a little bit of relaxed time where I can just turn my brain off. Okay, he's gonna push very hard. I was hoping for an ammo rack, but these guys need to push. If they push, then we win. If they don't push, then we lose. Yeah, the Centurion MK1, it's, if you don't like the comment, then it's gonna be a pretty painful tank, to be honest. Centurion, the MK7's good, don't get me wrong, it's got some armor, but it's just kind of the same as the FCM 50T. It's a medium, but even though the FCM's a heavy, but it's just way too big without any armor on its turret, its hull, just anywhere. And some tanks have armor somewhere. This tank doesn't. Alright, so I need to not sideswipe this T-49, but someone other than this Object 140's got to get up top here. Guess my peer pressure worked. Holy shit. Be careful about this 183. Thank you for using AP. Alright guys, can somebody head back there? That would be excelente. Okay. But yeah, I agree. I like the comment too. Alright. Poor ISU. You very much. Alright, see after this T20, we'll see how long that takes, and then T92, and that'll definitely be it for tonight. Outside of that, I will be streaming Wednesday, of course, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then next Saturday as well. Still have to figure out if I'd like to add a third day. We'll see if I can next week. Otherwise, I do have several more videos I have to do voiceovers on. Quite a few ace tanker matches, Top Guns, pretty fun matches. But I'll hopefully at least get them done. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, guys. And I still have some battles to go here, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully adding a third day in. It's the Centurion, like the Comet is definitely a tank where it is kind of team dependent, but the Centurion MK1, I couldn't even get into that after I actually ground through almost all of it. I got a mastery badge 2nd class. T110E3 always is solid as long as you play very methodically. It's one of those tanks where you can pretty much do good unless your team completely falls flat on its face. Barring that, then it's a pretty solid performer. I did alright in Lorraine, but I could have did a lot better, of course. Alright, so T20... Do I have it up here? No, it's all the way back here. I can't wait for the... Granted, mods already do it, but I don't use mods. But next patch as well, they are adding in a better user interface for the garage as far as your tank list and whatnot. See you, Andreas. But they're also basically revamping the garage as well, kind of like World of Warships, where the stats for your tank change based on your crew skills and whatnot. The more basically give you a better reflection on what things do, and even camouflage values and whatnot. I'm trying to remember, but they're finally putting those things into the game, so you're not going to have to go on other websites, which kind of hurts my feelings. But then again, it's like I have guides on my website. Some of them I can update in time, some others I can't, but I just do my best to make stuff I think is the most useful, and definitely glad that they're putting stuff into the game finally. I do my best, Penny. I can't stand people who obsess on stats and are overly negative about the game. I don't know why people watch them. I think some people just watch people because they have basically a popular name at times, and I don't know. I don't get it. Or they give out stuff. Yeah, I agree. It's taken them a very long time, but I don't know. It almost feels like they don't give a shit at times, but I always try to look on the bright side, and it's finally coming out that they're fixing it, because basically they're just copying the World of Warships interface, which I am happy with. I like World of Warships interface. It's not perfect, but it's definitely leaps and bounds better than what we have. Alright, so over under on my chances to survive pushing straight at their base. I'm going to go 20%. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. I'll take a crack at it. Alright, I heard one shot. If there are tanks, I want to start pushing over this way. Let's get as low as possible. Makes it harder for them to hit you. Alright, this guy can still hit me. But really, you just follow the river once you get across there. Yeah, unfortunately, I've kind of grown accustomed to shooting gold. I give props to people who don't use it, but holy shit. I just got rammed by a Hellcat. Yeah. Hey, at least I think we came out. Alright, that guy's upset. But, I think we came out the winner of that skirmish, but we'll see. Definitely not a typical T20 game. You never really want to fight like that. You play the T20 more as a second line support tank, but my team needed someone to be like, screw it, I'm going to push across there. Yep, Penny, I'll gladly keep that in mind when I'm doing guides. Like, I'm hoping, like, I haven't really touched my websites in far too long. I'm hoping to, I'm trying to basically figure out my schedule to where I can do something at least a couple times a week. Somebody asked for basically I have one for World of Warships for captain skills, but a complete crew skill recommendation and also guide for crew skills for World of Tanks, and going to be hopefully working on that. But weak spot guides for Japanese heavies, I'll keep that in mind. I have quite a few of them on there. I don't have all of them, but I have a lot of the more difficult ones that penetrate, if you check out lockguru.com. Typically doing weak spot guides, as far as now, like I'm going to try to update some of the ones that definitely need updating, like the IS-6 one especially. But typically when new tanks come out, I kind of pick the ones I think are going to be kind of the hardest or most interesting and kind of do them. I don't have a real plan to cover every single tank because that'll kind of make me lose my mind. But other websites like Tanks GG and stuff, they're almost accurate to the point where I don't put too much weight on getting those done over streams and stuff. I'd much rather stream than make a guide right now. Alright, so this is definitely my last match here. Next stream, if anyone would like to platoon, I'd be open to that on Wednesday. Let's help my team out with this guy. Yeah, I know I'm playing the T92 with gold. It's pretty much the worst possible outside of the Conqueror gun carrier situation of artillery one-shotting somebody, but the chances of a T92 doing that are next to nothing now. Right, so I thought someone might spot him again. I really don't want to aim over to the AMX-50B, but my team has... why did they stop spotting for me? Alright, figured. I will admit, though, I'm a pretty bad artillery player, so... This guy's starting to annoy me, though. This M46 Patton. Let's see if... Screw it, I'm aiming for the mouse. Nice big slow target for me. Stop moving. Oh yay, 413 damage. The T92, it's like it can have its moments if tanks are grouped up, but honestly, the M53, M55 is just a vastly superior SPG. Like, even though it's a tier lower, it's just... You can have the biggest gun in the freaking game, but if you don't hit something and you rely on splashing people, it just doesn't work anymore in T92 ever since they nerfed it. Unless I can nail both of these, or all three of these guys, I'm going to give this a shot. Hopefully they stay here for me. Oh, Lord. That worked out there. But outside of shots like that, which, honestly, I wish that was better, because my team is doing very bad, T92, it's pretty crappy compared to the M53. It's slower, worse accuracy, and it's just, honestly, I think the M53, M55 does do more damage overall than the T92. But I'm going to lose a shit ton of credits in this match. I kind of expect that playing the T92, though. Alright. Let's try to pick on this. Maybe not. I just don't exactly... Like, I shot the mouse 2 times this game because it's an easy target, but really it's not the most effective use of a shell since most have super heavy spall liners on them. let's see if anybody else is gonna line up here. The mouse moved outside of my firing arc. But otherwise, since this match looks like it's gonna end somewhere, there's somebody there. He's still in the cap. He just went out of the cap. Where are you at? Goodbye. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to be streaming next Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. and next Saturday as well. Going to be trying to come out with a couple, like I said, decent matches. I just had to do the voiceover for them between now and then. I am working on kind of reorganizing or revamping my website as well. Oh shit, I got somebody. I thought he was spotting me, to be honest. Let's see if I can't surprise him. Looking to revamp my website, of course, especially the homepage for both of my websites to kind of freshen things up a bit too. But yeah, at this point, this Conqueror. I'm just hoping he crossed. Please, 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 please. This is not going to go well for me. And I completely missed. That was a gamble, and it did not work out, to say the least. But otherwise, nice chatting with a lot of you guys, and nice to see a lot of your guys' your names as well. Is this guy really? All right, I was about to say the E75 is gonna get me, but Conqueror definitely was letting me almost reload. But in any event, pretty crappy match in T92, but I don't know. It's just one of those tanks where the SPG rebalance, like I'm in a different. I like SPGs. The thought of them, I don't think they're implemented in the game correctly, except for like the FV304. But I don't think they need to remove it. I think the main problem is they haven't done anything ever since they hit them with like a Nerf bat repeatedly and very hard, where it's annoying playing them. And so you're pissing people off with artillery playing them and also playing against it. It's just something I think that should be their highest priority. But we'll see. So in any event, thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully I'll see you next Wednesday, and hopefully things will go a little bit better, since this stream definitely had a lot of some iffy matches in it. And let's see if this STB1 here can get another shot. He's gonna... maybe he will get one more shot off. Oh god, he might get one more. Nope. But yeah, again, thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully I'll see you on Wednesday, if not Saturday. And maybe I'll sneak in one stream. It'll probably be later on in the night, some night. But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys, and fortunately we won this T20 match here. Can't say I survived very long, but did a little bit of damage and assisted with a little bit. I'll take it. So see you guys.